Thank you for joining today's webinar on billing details. Today I will be explaining everything you need to know about billing details in Tripleseat. In Tripleseat, billing details serve as the second method by which you add cost to your events and bookings, the first of which being your pick list items. Billing details represent taxes and fees that apply on top of those core pick list items, or they may be flat amount fees that you charge your guest, such as a $25 delivery fee. It is crucial that your billing details mirror your POS setup so that all financial reporting from Tripleseat is accurate. In this webinar, we will review how to create a new billing detail from scratch, how to update other aspects of your site once that new billing detail has been created, and how to troubleshoot an event where the billing details do not tally up as you'd expect. Please note that a copy of this recording will be emailed to all registrants. Starting off, to illustrate how billing details work, we can take a look at this event. As with all event financials, your billing details pull from the documents on the event. So we'll head over to the Docs tab and click into the Contract and Event Order. Once we scroll down to the billing widget here, we can see our billing details all laid out. We have here our flat rate billing details, and those are pretty simple. When you create documents for an event, the flat amount will show in the billing widget. This amount will pull directly from settings and will not fluctuate based on items added to the event. So this will always be $25. On the other hand, we have our percentage rate billing details, and those operate on a two-part system. The first requirement relates to the billing widget. If you look at the widget, you can click on the three dots next to each item to expand details here. Each billing detail should have a drop-down that says Apply to Billing Detail. The selection here is very important, as that will tie the row to a specific billing detail in settings. The billing detail will then pull the percentages and pick list associations that have been set up under settings in order to properly calculate. We will review those settings as well shortly. If there is not a selection made for Apply to Billing Detail, or if the incorrect selection is made, then your calculations for that line will appear off. So that's always something very important to check. And while we're here, we can review the Include Totals From. This area allows you to apply the amount of one billing detail onto another. For example, if you would like your admin fee to be taxed, we would just select admin fee here. The second requirement for billing detail calculations relates to each pick list item. So to check these, we can scroll up to pick lists, and we'll use this All button to expand details on the items. Here we can see that each item is tagged with a menu item category and associated billing details. This is also a very useful area to check if your billing detail calculations look off. If the proper pick list associations are not selected here, or the proper category is not selected here, that could impact the calculation. And this can be adjusted by selecting or deselecting the proper billing details under its associated pick list items. For example, if we wanted the F&B gratuity calculated here, we can just go ahead and check that off. If an item is tagged with a certain billing detail, and if that billing detail lives in the widget, then it will tally up at the percentage rate defined there. If you have multiple locations in Tripleseat and not all utilize the same billing details, you can still share pick lists, because as long as the billing detail does not live in the widget of the docs, then no additional cost will be incurred. For example, if the admin fee line is not included in this document set, then there will be no charge despite it being checked off here on the pick list. So now that we understand how billing details work and what they look like, let's talk about how you can manage your billing details in settings. Before we get started, just a friendly note, the features we are about to review all require a degree of access in settings. If you don't see these features on your end, someone else on your team will be able to make these kinds of changes. Again, our webinar today is recorded, so you certainly may forward this to your teammates if needed. Regardless of whether or not you have access in settings, however, everyone is welcome to stay as we dive in. A very common question we receive here in the support team is how to adjust a billing detail rate if local taxes have changed. For example, let's say the sales tax rate is going up in the new year. To make this kind of update, you would go to Settings, and then Billing Details, and we'll click Edit next to the billing detail that needs to be changed. Then we'll just want to update the default amount. So let's say that our 9% tax is going up to 9.5 in the new year. We'll just enter that there. Additionally, if we have a change that impacts only one location, you can enter that as an overriding value to that specific location. So if we have our 9.5% as our default value, but Teresa's Tavern is actually going to have a 10% tax, we have that entered here, so that will be all set moving forward. Then we can go ahead and click Update, and now all documents that you create going forward will have that new percentage rate for tax. However, this change will not impact documents that already exist, and those would need to be manually adjusted. I would recommend running an event details report for future events and include a column for the document title in that report. Then you can just work through the list and update those. Next, we will go over how to create an entirely new billing detail. Let's say that your company has decided you want to start charging a 3.5% living wage fee to your events. Go to Settings, Billing Details, and then New Billing Detail here. You will go ahead and enter the name and the default value here. You'll also see below the option for inclusive. When a billing detail is set this way, that means it will be calculated inclusive of the menu item's price. For example, if an item is $100 with inclusive tax, that $100 would include both the item price and the tax. We won't be doing that for this billing detail, so we can leave that unchecked. And then we'll create. Next, to make sure this living wage surcharge appears on future event docs, our next step is to update the document template in settings. So we will head over to Settings, Documents, and on this page, we can see the two components of documents in Tripleseat. Here is the template, which contains all of the fields that can be edited and adjusted on an event-by-event basis. And then below that, we have our layouts, which define how the data pulls onto customer and internal facing docs. To edit the billing widget, we will click into the contract and event order template. Our billing widget here. Then in the widget, we will click add a row and select billing detail. Then we'll just go ahead and enter the name, and under amount, we'll enter 1% there. The 1% acts as a placeholder, which means whenever you create docs, that will automatically populate with the correct location rate that was defined in settings. This allows you to use the same document set for multiple locations, even if each location may have a different rate. This is also beneficial because then if you update one of your billing detail rates, like we just did with the sales tax, that will automatically update in your documents, so it's one less step to go through. Next, we'll click the 3 dots next to this line item. And under Apply to Billing Detail, we will select that billing detail that we just created. And while we are here making billing widget updates, we can also elect to tie our new fee to other widget lines, such as the room rental or the food and beverage minimum. To do this, we would click the 3 dots next to that. So we'll do the 3 dots next to food and beverage minimum and select living wage fee there under Apply Following Fees. Then we can save template. If you have multiple document templates, be sure to repeat these steps for anywhere that you want this detail to populate automatically. And once we've updated the documents with our new billing detail, there are just 2 more steps to ensure that the fee will tally up correctly. First, we will want to head to menu item categories and update those. So we'll go to settings, menu item categories. The menu item categories connect your billing details and your pick list items. Each pick list should have a menu item category assigned to determine which taxes and fees will be assigned to that item. To update this, we will click into the menu item category. For our living wage surcharge, this is only going to apply to our food and beverage. So we'll go into food and check that off there. And then we'll do the same in our beverage categories. Now, if we create future pick list items or freehand items under food and beverage moving forward, those will be tagged with the living wage fee by default. Additionally, if you have Tripleseat Direct, this change will update all of your menu items and packages automatically. However, updating a menu item category will not impact existing pick list items belonging to that category. Therefore, the final step to ensure that your living wage fee calculates properly will be to update your pick list. To do this, we will head to Settings, Pick Lists, and we can click into any of our pick lists to edit. And all. We can use the mass assigned to these billing items in order to have that get selected on every single pick list item on the list instead of having to go through individually. Then we can save. Once this is done for all of your pick lists, all future events will calculate as you need. And as we mentioned previously, These updates will only populate automatically on new events moving forward. If we would like to add our new billing detail to an existing event, we can do so manually. To do this, we would pull up the event, head into the billing widget, and we will just follow the same steps that we did under document settings here. So we'll add our living wage fee. When we are doing a manual entry, we'll want to make sure we enter the amount rather than the 1% placeholder. And here we are. That will be good to go. Next, we would want to double check our pick list items, so we can check here and check here and make sure that the fee is selected on these. Then we can update and this will look great. Additionally, if you would like to review your billing detail totals for your events, we can utilize reports to take a look at this. Let's say we want to report our sales tax totals for each event held within the past 3 months. So we will head over to Reports, Event Details Report. I'm going to click Custom, and then we'll customize here. This first page allows you to select filters for the report. So we'll want to set our date of event to the past 3 months. And then we can head over to columns, and here we will select what information we would like to be showed in this report. There are a lot of event details that can be included in this report here. Contact details. And then we can head to financials. We have a bunch of event financials here. Let's say that for this report, we want our grand total to be displayed. Then we can head to menu item categories, and this has all of the menu item categories that are billed. So if you want to only show your food totals, you could check that off there. And then here we have our billing details. So we will get our billing details selected, and then we can run this report. And this is what that will look like. You can see the breakdown for each event, as well as the grand totals for that time period. Another report that's beneficial is the event pick list and billing items report. This breaks things down by each menu item. We can click into that to customize. Again, let's do the past 3 months. And then under here, we will just select sales tax. And again, we can adjust our columns just to make sure that the report is displaying the information that we need. Once we run report, we can take a look at that. And again, we have our breakdown and our totals here. We also have a recorded webinar on our YouTube page, which does a deep dive into reporting. We certainly recommend checking that out if you would like to explore further reporting possibilities in Tripleseat. A recording of this call will be sent to the email address you entered when registering for the webinar. Our team will stick around for the remainder of the time to answer any questions you may have. If any questions come up later, please contact our team by clicking the Help Questions button on any page in Tripleseat. Thank you.